Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Kretovic. I'm the City Council Ward Representative for Ward 3. And today we're going to have a riveting conversation about property taxes. I don't want that to scare you right off the bat, but this is the single time of year where I receive more phone calls from constituents in Ward 3 with regards to that property tax bill that they just got in November. They're looking at here in December, and we all know that it's due at the beginning part of January 1st. But we need to have a deeper conversation so that you and I understand what happens when we look at that property tax bill. And you know, I have a property tax bill as well. There's a lot of confusion about what happens at that bill. And the first thing that people say to me is, my taxes went up so much. Here, I want to explain to you why, when I sit down with constituents and we go through their property taxes, why we're not looking at this December's tax bill versus the tax bill we had in October. We're actually going to look a year away. So we're going to look at 2016's taxes versus 2017's tax bill, both in December. That's how you have to look at your taxes. So first, we're going to start with some very simple math so you can understand 2016 versus 2017. So I have it as an example, a house here. And we're going to say that this house is worth $100,000. Now, I know you're going in Concord, but don't worry about that, because for now, we're just doing simple math. So our $100,000 house in 2016, the tax rate at $9.68 per thousand, just for the city of Concord, would mean that we would pay taxes on that $100,000 house per 1,000 times 100 equals 100 times 968 equals $968. That's per 100,000. Here's our little house, and now it's 2017. And in 2017, our $100,000 house, the tax rate is $9.84 per thousand. So when we look at this, our $100,000 house divided by 1,000, so multiplied by 100, $9.84 makes a tax rate of $984. So let's look at these two side by side. $968 versus $984. That's $16 per thousand from one year to the next. And that's a per year cost. Now, we all know that $100,000 house likely doesn't exist in Concord, and it's more realistically probably a $200,000 house. So this is how the math works here. Our 2017 tax rate, it's a $200,000 house divided by 1,000 is 200. Multiply that by our 9.84, and we're paying $1,968 in city taxes. That's really more realistic, right? So now when we line the two side by side, and this is really looking at our property tax bill. For the city of Concord, if you live in Concord, you have $1,968 in city taxes. Then we have the county tax, that is $572. The New Hampshire education tax, or the state education tax, is $460. And then the school tax for Concord School District is $2,648. And that's what makes up that $5,600 bill that you have for your annual taxes in Concord. For Pennacook, a little bit different because the school district has a different tax rate. We still have our $1,968 for the city, $572 for the county, $442 for the state education tax, and then $3,802 for the Merrimack County school tax. That makes a tax rate for the year of $6,784 on a $200,000 house. I'm just going to circle these for you so you see that the difference between living in Concord and living in Pennacook. So now, 2017 also had a valuation of our properties from 2016. And what happened is our $200,000 house, let's say on average, went up 5%. That means the value of the same house is now $210,000. So we can't use the same math. Other than $210,000 divided by 1,000, we're now going to use a multiplier of 210. Using the same tax rate of $9.84, instead of paying that $1,968, the tax bill is now $2,066.40. When we line them up side by side for 2016 versus 2017, and you see the value of the house went up, it's now $130.40 more per year from 2016 to 2017. And that probably sounds more realistic to you, but you're likely thinking, that still seems pretty low compared to what I'm looking at on my tax bill. And the reason is we're only looking at the city tax. When we then expand this out to look at what happens with all of the taxes, you have a difference of $240.40 per year. On the school tax side, the one we just looked at was for Concord. This one is for Pennacook. It's a difference of $290.10. So here's our $210,000 house that now when we take the city tax increase of $130.40, and for Pennacook schools, $290.10, you're getting an increase of $420.50 for the year. And then for Concord, $130.40, that's the city increase. And then the school district is $240.40. So you wind up with an increase of $370.80. Now, again, that's only on a house that is worth $210,000 in the city. And that went from a 5% increase from 2016 to 2017. So a lot of numbers to take into consideration here. Ultimately, you want to take the value of your house from last year to this year, multiply it by that $9.84 per thousand. Don't forget to divide that 100 or down to the hundreds number, or you're going to mess up everything. And then you'll see what the true difference is from 2016 to 2017. There's one other factor to take into consideration, and that is when City Council sets the budget in June, what happens is the valuation on the houses that happened back in April hasn't gone through the state yet for certification. So we don't know what the value of your houses are or all the properties in Concord. All we know is what the budget is for the city. And we know the money that we need to operate. And again, we operate on a balanced budget. So we don't need more. We just need to cover the expenses that we have for 2017, 2018 fiscal year. So from that, in November, when the state certifies the valuation, that's when you get your tax bill with the new value of your property, and that's when the tax rate is set. As an example, when we were doing the budget in June, we really thought the tax rate for your house was going to be around $10.02 per thousand. That was a big deal for us. This was the first time we were going to cross into a double digit for a city property tax. And it didn't happen because the value of our properties in general across the city was worth more. There's a double-edged sword here. If you're a person whose taxes went down, hooray for you. But it also means that the value of your property likely went down. Most people in the city didn't see that. And for us on the city council, we see that as a really positive effort that shows that we have growth and progression in our community. Remember, it wasn't too long ago, 9 years, since we had the 2008 recession. And from that, we had property values dropping. This is part of recovery. We are seeing our community resurge in interest and also in sales in the community. And that's good for you if your property went up because it adds equity to your home. The hard part is that we get a tax bill at likely the worst time of year in December. But we don't decide that. The legislature decides that. So while Christmas is a tough time and it is more difficult to get that tax bill at this time of year, know that it's a good thing for the entire community, and that come June 1st, I think when we get our next tax bill, when we don't have to pay a little bit extra right now, it's going to flatten out and we're all going to be okay. If you have questions, by all means, give myself a call. You can reach out on the City Concord website and get in touch with any one of the city councilors, and we're glad to sit down with you and go through your tax bill so you understand the difference from one to the other. One more thought. If you own a condominium, you are likely going to see a greater increase in your tax bill, and that's because of a couple of different factors. Number one, People are downsizing and they're moving into condominium living. It's a little bit nicer lifestyle, not so much to take care of the lawn, etc. And then people that are first-time home buyers in our market, likely a condominium is a good option to go to. When we see a surge in sales in condominiums, it does mean that the value goes up, and therefore you'll see on your tax bill you had a greater increase than perhaps other areas of the city or other types of property. And then manufactured housing, again, a really good option for people that are just starting to buy or have a permanent housing for them and getting out of rental living. We're seeing a lot of increase in that. And that other part is tiny house living is making a real surge across the country, and a manufactured home is a good way to go. Again, if you want to reach out to any one of your city councilors, please do so. I know property taxes is boring. It's a tough time of year to talk about it, but I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Learn more on our city website. There's all kinds of information at the city assessor's page, and you can learn more. Knowledge is power, and thanks for being a great resident in the city of Concord.